around and has done amazing stuff, as I said before. And so today we just want to talk about media and the youth. What are the opportunities? What are some of the things that the young people can do through the media space? What are the challenges that he's faced along the way? And how has he overcome these challenges? What are some of the things that he can tell young people? And so these are just some of the areas that we'll be looking at. As is always, this is a conversation. And so along the way, I know we will touch on so many issues. Before I take over the show, of course, I am the host, but it's not my show for today. It's Mihona's show. So welcome, Kevin Okutoi.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been well. I'm here. Thank Jesus. I'm alive, man. I'm born again. Jesus is the boss, the CEO, and the Lord and the Savior.
Do you still pray at midnight?
Yes, I do, man.
Up to 3?
No, I don't pray. That is my culture. It's like you're asking me, do you breathe?
Okay.
So
I am sorry.
Okay, it's a culture that I was introduced to by Pastor T.
Oh, Pastor T.
Yeah, I met Pastor T, I think 2017. I was, 2017. So there was a time he preached about midnight watch. And man, that thing changed my lifestyle. I used to do 3 to 3. When I wake up at 3, so I have woken up. But now when he touched on midnight, then I took over. Then I was like, no, this is the culture. So 2017 till date, I'm doing the same thing. I've never skipped even a single day, praying at midnight. Wow. Because that's where the world is changed and shifted. Political parties are formed at that time. Destinies are shifted at that time. Even people are married, that's when they increase the population, you know what I mean?
My goodness. Wow, we're just starting. We are just starting, and there's much more that's coming. So, you know, the first time I knew about you was about the midnight prayer.
Yeah.
Because I know we share a group, a WhatsApp group somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you normally like, who is taking over the 3rd hour, who is taking over the 2nd hour?
4th battalion.
The 4th battalion. And I'm like, yeah, this is the guy. And so I did a few research here and there, and realized that you're in the media space.
Yeah.
And you're a host of some programs in a local television station.
Yeah.
And you're doing very well.
Thank God, man.
You're doing very well. I've watched those shows, and I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be like you.
We thank Jesus.
So how has it been? How's the journey been?
The journey has been not easy. The journey has been, I had the passion, first of all. Professionally, I ain't a presenter. I'm a teacher by profession.
So you are to hold the chalk.
Yes.
So a side step.
Yes. So in 2012, God spoke to me that I'll be in the media. 2012. Remember, that is 2012. Eh?
Wow.
So I began volunteering in some media house in town, just here, along Kimathi Street. Eh? I used to volunteer there. They used to have a sister station. They used to do a morning thing. So they would interview people, on the streets. So I would go there, but I was there as a comedian, as the Luya accent.
I know, I remember Okutoi TV and what have you, but let me not get there.
Yeah. So I used to volunteer. I volunteered 2013. Then I just had the passion, but no, I was in class, So, and then from there also went on another TV station again. Also, after State House on the other side, it's a common one. And then I also volunteered there in 2000, and that was 2017 when I was meeting Pastor T. Yeah, so it was a volunteer. So where I am today, I also volunteered there before I also began. So it was just passion. Then this passion, when I was there, then my work was recognized. Then they said that, you know what? Let's do this. So that's why,
So passion and let's do this.
Passion.
You know, you have given us a summary. Somebody is just like, okay, now this passion, where do I go with this passion? Whom do I approach with this passion? Of course I have the passion. Yeah. But what are the baby steps involved?
Like, for example, there are very many careers, there are very many, desires, dreams. So let me just take an example of an art. Somebody who is an artist, as in he draws. You draw your stuff, do it, put on your WhatsApp status. Let's work with what we have. You're getting, work with what you have. If you can draw somebody, somebody, put it on WhatsApp, your status, share it in your group, those groups that you are, put it on your Facebook, IG, and every other place. Tell your friends to like it, to share it. Start from there. There are very many platforms today. Social media is just the thing now. So there's nothing like, oh, I don't know why I need to do this thing. Do it from there.
Do it from there.
Yes. If you are a musician, another example, you want to become a gospel musician, start singing in your Sunday school, your youth place. Start doing it in your church, you know, your prayer meeting. Do it from there. Then you see what, if you're doing from there, from your heart, God is watching. Another example, last example, you are there, you are maybe a sweeper, maybe in a company or wherever you are doing it. My dear, if you are doing it, you sweep the best. You know, if you're cooking tea, make sure that tea is the best that you can do. God is watching. There's somebody who's going to support you, and the rest will be history. You'll have a testimony in your heart, and you'll have to sing a song.
Wow.
Yes.
So whatever you're doing, do it with passion. Do it to the best of your
excellence.
ability and excellence.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to support you.
Yeah.
It's not every day that they will support you, but one day.
One day.
There's a musician who sang Ipo Siku.
Ipo siku tu.
They'll start singing.
Okay.
They'll start. Tell me something. The transition from comedy to becoming a TV host.
Okay, I just forgot. Okay, before I volunteered to that TV station that you spoke, I also did comedy as a volunteer. You see, in a secular station along Mayaki Way, after Westlands, that side, it's very common, Radio 1.
Okay. You can mention the name.
Oh, the radio.
Just one of them.
Kiss.
Okay.
So, yes, the shuffle.
I
I
remember.
So I used to call that accent, you know. So I hate the content. Now okay, I will now put it. I put Jesus inside that content because it was relationship. So I would always defend Jesus, but now in comedy. So those guys would laugh. Then they would put the same clips over the weekend. So I remember my cousin calling me, man, I'm laughing, I've parked my car. What is the problem? You put on this channel, you switch on this channel and you can hear yourself. I hear myself, I'm at home, man, where are you taking me? So from there, I was like, no, you see, when you meet some other people, you are like, you have a dream. So I had a dream of music. So Mihona is not a name, it's a vision.
Yeah.
So Mihona, that is music, integrity, hope. O is for regional gospel, N is for nationalism, A is for academics. Yeah. So M is for music. And you see, I wanted to support Kenyan gospel music, even if it would just be 2%. So I told God, I need just a space to have, to give a wing to the gospel ministry. So I had the passion for music. I would go for groove awards, groove parties, you know, those days.
Yeah,
not these days.
Not these days.
Those days. So then God spoke to me. You know, I'm so intimate with God, you see. Yeah. So God told me, you will work in the media. So when you work there, you'll be a pillar for this side, for the music. So with that now, the way I've given out my journey, that is now when God gave me that chance. And that's what I'm doing. I'm supporting gospel music.
So it transitioned from being a comedy infused to Jesus.
Yes.
To a pillar in the media industry supporting the gospel music.
Yes, that if you say so.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're still doing the gospel shows, or what are you doing?
Yes, now, okay, I'm a producer.
Okay.
Even at this time, there's a show that is going on, but now the guest is Rodney. I'm also mentoring somebody, so with an internship. It's called Nash. He's doing it. So, production, you know that when you are a producer, now you are the real guy on the ground. So I host guests from all over the country. There are guys who DM you, man. You see, watch that music, and you're like, wait, this music has not even received airplay anywhere. Perfect music, man, anointed. Even when I'm praying, I listen to that music. That person, I just give them interviews immediately and airplay. That's what I do now.
Wow.
Because you see, there's a gap. I realized when God was speaking to me about the same, I realized there's a gap in this nation. That, you know what, we just need a guy with integrity, with a heart and the passion for the music, okay? That you can support somebody without being given money. And then raise that talent passionately. Then that is it.
Wow.
So that's what I do.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're young by all standards. And I know the young people watching are like, okay, so we anafanya kwa TV. Analipo ama? Analipaje rent? Juu
Kulipa.
hapo mbele ametuambia sijui mara amevolunteer, lakini landlord hajui volunteer.
So as I said, I began by volunteering, but now I was finally got absorbed.
Okay.
But I volunteered, yes. So from there now, now we are here. Yes, but now the future is bright.
The future is bright.
Just I believe where I am is a platform to do God's purpose. It's just a ladder to the real big deal, because there are many promises also God has given. This is just one of the least promises. Yes.
Wow, wow. The future is bright. Of course, now he's earning from his passion and from the media industry. He's doing some amazing work for the Gospel Fraternity in this country. He's interviewing guests from all over the country. He's not choosy. I mean, whether you come from Kisumu or Moyale, as long as your music is good and is talking about the true Jesus that we know, trust you me, Mihona will host your new show, and I'm a testimony. I've watched that show separately.
Yeah.
So tell me something. In like, I hear my director is telling me that I have 2 minutes to go before we take a break. Okay. But in just 2 minutes, Kevin, or rather Mihona. Okay.
Yeah, Mihona is nice.
Mihona is nice.
Yes.
Watch a comedy.
You know, when you mention Kevo, you know what comes into people's minds.
Wachana na atuongee juu ya Makevo na Mabraya wa nini?
Please. This is Kevo na Brayo sawa.
No.
Ni Miho.
This is Mihona.
Kenyanized.
Come on, Kenyanized.
Want to make Jesus famous.
Exactly. This is the problem of hosting a host. It becomes very difficult.
Sorry.
This is my show, so I'll take charge.
Okay.
My goodness. You can only get this on NEXTGEN Warriors. So in like 1 minute, because I know we've laughed for 1 minute. No, we haven't. In like 1 minute, what are some of the challenges? Just give us one challenge, because I know this is a whole huge topic. What are some of the challenges you've faced as a young man who's born again in the media industry?
I think maybe we can just mention one challenge. One challenge in the media is that, you know what, expectation.
Expectation.
People think now you are there, you should be in Ecclesia driving the biggest thing. You know, that is one major expectation of people. They expect, when they see on the screens, they think that is an angel doing something there. They forget this is just the other guy who is also like the one who's watching me, can also be elevated and come here. So expectation of people. If you can't control the man, you'll be done. Yeah.
How do you deal with that in a nutshell, in 30 seconds?
I know who I am. I have a dream. The dream is too big, more than this nonsense of I don't know what people will say. What will say about me doesn't really care. I don't care about that one. It is what Jesus says about me that cares. Yours are views. Jesus' views are the best. I'll follow those ones.
Wow.
Yes.
So I don't want to get into the second challenge, because I know my guest is a host and he might just decide to host the show. So see you in the second bit of the show. This is NEXTGEN Warriors. You're tuned to Elevate TV, where we are advancing kingdom lifestyle. So welcome back to the second bit of the show, and we are still here with Kevin Okutoi, aka Mihona, who is just giving us tidbits on youth and media. Of course, he's a media personality. He's been around for a while. He's worked with national broadcasting. He's worked with other big names in the industry in Kenya, and he's still doing big stuff. And you know, you can't miss this show. He comes I think on one of these days, he'll definitely give us the dates towards the end of the show.
Of course.
So we were talking about the challenges.
Yes, challenges.
So and the first challenge that you mentioned was the expectation.
Yes.
And I was just keen to understand, how do you deal with the expectations per se? Of course, you say the people's view don't matter. The only views that matter are the views that Jesus has towards you.
Yes.
But the fact of the matter is, we live in the world here.
Yeah.
And perhaps somebody will tell you that Jesus does not live with us here.
Yeah.
So he will not give his views on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. So
No,
how do you deal with these negative views that you get?
Okay, views. Number one, the views that, you know, Jesus Christ has his views in the scripture. So we are the salt of the earth, Matthew 5. We are the light of the world. So how, if you don't resonate, I mean, if you don't reflect the saltiness in you, you see, you'll be trampled upon, you see, as the scripture says. So what people say is, sometimes the views come so powerfully, but then for me, I told you, you see what, my dream is too big, man. So the views, the nitty-gritty, those small things, okay? Then I look at the vision that I do have, then I'm like, okay, no, this is big. You are getting it. So, the views are really eating up people in the society, the musicians, the artists, because they're like, how many followers do I have on Instagram? How many followers do I have? What have they said? You see? So I concentrate on really what brought me there. Why did I come in this space? Why did God bring me in this space? So that's why I capitalize. So I capitalize on what brought me here. Why did God bring me here, and what am I supposed to be doing here? So that one is, they're so big, so they're like, now they overshadow the other views.
Okay.
Yes.
So that challenge one, do you have like any other challenge that you face as a young man in the industry?
Yes. Another one is, you see me, I'm handsome. I don't need somebody to tell me that. Yes. So
let me laugh first.
Please do.
It's fine. Proceed.
Let me help you to laugh. So
the problem with comedians on the show.
Sorry. So ladies, they DM, they push. There are others who push as if it's an agenda. Oh, akini hona kapoa. Oh, can I put my head over there? So hold my hand. Now you see how I survive. Naga comedy. So comedy and I said to survive. Those kind of things. They are very many.
So you have a survival tactic.
Yes, by God's grace. Na Mungu sasa naitumia juu yeye alinipatia. So the same thing that God gave me, hiyo ndio natumia to survive. Yes.
Wow.
That is the second.
That's second. You have. Please proceed.
Okay, so tumesema hiyo, what people expectations. Madam, yes. Alafu sasa unajua, there are this thing now, also pressure from peers and others. They want you now, you know what, you are like this, man. Amen, hama penye huko bana. Hai bana, hama bana. Naambia hama ile sina shida na hama hata najua ni nyundo ndani. Then they laugh. Sasa wanachoka. Yes.
So they want you to go to Kileleshwa?
Yeah, we want you to be in Kileleshwa.
And you are in Runda?
Sasa mudaiga unajua ndio.
Sure.
Yeah, next to my workplace. Runda iko mbali kidogo.
Wow.
Yes.
So does it mean that you now have to cut off some friends, or you just manage them? Because I'm like, if you manage them, for how long?
Okay, friends, personally, I don't have very many best friends. I think they are less than 5. Others, I am friendly to everyone. I'm telling you, we can talk with people. Then they are like, oh my God, that guy is, oh my God, especially girls and ladies. Where? Oh, akiwa naongea ngapo, wow, can you imagine wewe unaongea, oh, sijui. But you know what, after that, even I forget. Now, after like 2 weeks, I forgot that thing. I like, wewe ndio, akina uniongelesha vizuri umenisahau, you know. So, I'm just friendly, but I have few friends. I have those guys who check me, they're like, man, leo umechoma. Nicheki hapo. Guys, kuna moja anaitwa Samuel Nanzala. Hey, this guy was like, man, hapo okay, na Amalesh. I have those guys that they are like, man, hapa hiwe. Those ones I do have. Yes.
Wow.
Few.
So you need to have few friends, and these should be friends who are telling you as it is. Ukichoma umechoma. Kama umepata.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So like these are like the major challenges. But somebody tells me, I have a few friends also who are in media, and they're young people, and they're telling me that there's pressure to indulge, especially on hard stuff, alcohol and what have you.
Kupiga sherehe.
And some kupiga sherehe, exactly. Na mingine alikuwa ananiambia like, wewe uko lucky manze, uko elevate, hiyo yenyu ni ya church.
Ni church, mnakunywanga tu.
Mnakunywanga tu juice na mkate.
Na maji matakatifu.
So they're like, how you manage there, you're lucky. But out here, in this media space, there's the pressure to indulge. There's a lot of push and pull.
Yeah.
You have to play ball to certain people and what have you. So how did you manage? Because I know you've been to secular and now like what I would call gospel stations.
Yeah.
How did you manage to, like, as a young person, how did you manage to survive in all this environment?
Okay, personally, even from my family where I come from, not everyone is born again. I think I'm the only one who's born again among my siblings. So this thing starts from home. You see, we meet. There's what I drink. You see at home, even my brothers, they are watching. Bros, mna watch. So they know that when you're in the meeting, even last Sunday we had a meeting. Mimi ni kuweka nini? Kuweka the blended juice na maji. Inawekwa pia mzinga ya Mkristo iko. So there's nothing mzinga for mzinga.
Mzinga for mzinga.
For mzinga. Music for music. They play secular, unaweka muziki. Unaona, unaweka wacha nene meja, beat for beat.
Beat for beat.
Yes, there's nothing like
music for music.
Music for music. Wakika mzinga ile inaitwa sijui whatever waoka, mimi naweka hapo blended juice, yogurt na maji na tuna toast na tuko sawa. You see, the only things that now people, when you're in the gospel, you are like, they think, now you can't even say hi to the other side. No. You should just interact, but make sure you're the light. So when you're in the meeting, they always want to interact at Bishop Bomba.
Pastor.
So just knowing who you are and knowing that Jesus Christ depends on
yes.
you. That's why he created you.
Yeah.
That's how he survived, by God's grace.
So you can also survive because he's the only person who is born again in his family. Na bado wanapiga sherehe.
Inapiga.
Sasa ukipiga sherehe, ukijua wewe ni nani, bado unaweza stand. That's what.
And Jesus will smile.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Wow. You know, it's amazing that you can say all this thing on Elevate TV because the other day somebody was telling me, manze tulete mtu mwenye anatuambia venye ana interact na side nyingine because the gospel did not come for those who are born again.
Yes.
The gospel came for those who are in need of the gospel. Because if you are sorted, then why should you need another sorting? So the interaction bit whereby you are able to interact with people from the other side and still stand out, it's actually a testimony.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can speak into it to the young people out here who are perhaps maybe are in colleges, are in campus and what have you, and they're like, manze mimi nikinteract nao watu ni kama anaweza anguka.
Si ati naweza huwa naanguka. Unajua naendanga kwa sherehe wanaongea tu vizuri ni aje matopoa. Akitoka kwa imagine mimi hata sijini kwa hapa tuko hapa chini.
Na Sunday ako church.
Imagine. And that guy, you know, is the one leading the praise and worship. Let me tell you, number one, routine, being foundation. What feeds you? Okay, where do you feed? Unajua when you sit with the pastor, unajua to when you listen to what will come out. You just know that, you know. Whom do you listen to? Which music do you listen to? What you watch on social media? So, and also foundation. So, personally, since I was born again, sijai backslide. Mimi najua tumaisha ya Yesu. Unaget? So, mimi kiti anything, whatever, everything is inside your light. So, my background is in Jesus. Venye sasa venye wananiona venye nakaa hivyo na watu wanaulizanga mazee kuna siku ushaifanya hakuna mimi huku tu kwa Yesu ndio nimekaa. So I have the grace, let me say by God's grace. Una get see do hata kuna si watu rahisi wengi wa survive venye nime survive. The foundation. Man, Sunday school it was so strict. Unafika pale memory verse. You see, unafika pale the teacher says aya watoto nataka kama umejua kama umevaa nguo ya white kuja mbele anything white. Kuna siku nimekuwa nimevaa black. lakini kuna nimechapa memory verse nikasema teacher mimi niko na meno ya white.
Such a jokes.
See jokes. Then you go there, do memory verse, 5. So you get that from the Sunday school, then high school, unakuja college. Now you see where I used to grow is like, ukienda mahali, kuna venye watu wanakuona tu kama ndio unakaa, ndio unakaa kama pastor,
kama bishop.
So wanakupatia position yenye umeze uwezi blanda, una get. So I was always in that position whereby people would be like, we msendi ndakana kwa your side. So there was no way I could blunder. So foundation is very important. If you're a young man, make sure in the right church that teaches truth. They mention sin as sin, not something like sin. They mention it right. Then another thing, make sure you are busy feeding in the right thing. Utasurvive too. Alafu uombe. Ukisikia tunachapana kama ndio lao, si ati hatuna kazi ya kufanya ama usingizi ati hatuna bed. Kuna kabed ka 2 by 6 na lalanga hapo. Naweza kaa kwa hapo. Unage?
Yeah.
So pray bro, si jokes. You don't pray. For me I don't pray because niko na shida. Mimi sina shida. Unage?
You're blessed.
Niko tu by God's grace niko tu hapo, unage? So it's not a problem that makes me pray. I just pray because I need to pray as a Christian. The Bible says that pray always. Pray always. Yesu Kristo kuna time anakuja akapata Petero the big 3. Kateli Yesu unajua mwana kateli Yesu pana kateli wa Yesu Petero yo kitchen cabinet. Petero Yohana na you can pray even for an hour.
I'm a doze man.
Yesu ngoja kidogo. Hamuka muombe. You know get so prayer.
Wow. Director today is called Peter Mbugua.
Peter, we alimkana Yesu.
Peter is really on my case and saying that we should just wrap up and go home.
Okay.
So I want you to
2 minutes, man.
To look at this camera in like a minute and just talk to that young person who's maybe aspiring to join the media space and just aspiring to be of value in that space. What are some of the things that you can tell them going forward, even as we close the show? Okay,
you are watching, man. You are a boy, you are a girl, you are a gentleman. One thing, if you are born again, that is, make sure you remember that there are 7 mountains of influence. So one of them is media and entertainment. When you go there, you're going to represent Christ, not to go there and to do your thing. So the first agenda, you remember you're going to represent Christ. So prepare for the challenges. Read study about others that have succeeded and they have also failed. Study their weaknesses, then do something about them. Then also go for the strength that is also in that side. And finally, ukienda even that side, you'll know that God really depends on you. Please don't go there and choma picha. Kuja tuchape kazi. But remember there are very many challenges. Prepare to face them as you come. But remember Jesus Christ depends on you. You are his vessel. Wow. You are Jesus' vessel. I think that's the parting shot. We are coming to the end of the show today. We are very much glad that you could join us and you could watch. Please remember to follow us on our social media handles at Elevate TV Kenya, at Colin Sayo, and at Kevin Mihona on IG, Kevin Mihona on Twitter, alafu Mihona Kenyanized on Facebook. Wow. Tukutane Life Garage every 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Wow. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next week, same station, same time. God bless you.